Imagine building a fully functioning money-making business from absolute scratch and doing it without knowing a single line of code. Well, welcome to this explainer because today we're taking a massive, honestly overwhelming list of over 500 AI tools and distilling them down into a super practical step-by-step blueprint. We're going to take 9 specific tools and use them to go from just a vague idea bouncing around in your head to a real live operation. And you know what the absolute best part is? The massive democratization of this tech. It literally doesn't matter if you have zero technical experience, this is entirely within your reach.
You've probably heard this powerful saying going around right now. AI is not going to take your job, but those using AI will. Listen, this is the core psychological shift we have to make, and it's exactly why we're diving into this today. Mastering these tools isn't just some fun weekend experiment anymore. It's an absolutely non-negotiable requirement for aspiring entrepreneurs. If you try to launch a business today relying only on the old traditional methods, you are essentially running a marathon with heavy weights tied to your ankles. You have to adapt, and you have to leverage this technology right now if you want to stay competitive.
So here's our roadmap for the explainer. We're going on a chronological journey through the life cycle of your future business. 1. Ideation, finding the problem. 2. Development, building without code. 3. Branding, designing your identity. 4. Scaling, marketing and automation. And 5. Operations, managing your data. Let's get into it. All right, phase 1, ideation, finding the problem. Before you even think about building something, you need to find a problem people are desperately begging to have solved. When you start looking for that problem, you're obviously going to need an AI chatbot. But please, don't just default to the first one you think of. You need to choose the exact specialist for your idea. Think of them like specialized consultants. If you need to analyze a physical product or a video, Google's Gemini is multimodal and handles visual data perfectly. If you're dealing with complex logic, deep thinking, or coding tasks, Claude is typically the smartest model in the room. Need absolute maximum speed? Meta's Llama is your go-to. Asking edge case questions and need completely unfiltered responses? Grok has you covered. And of course, ChatGPT remains an incredible, well-rounded general-purpose tool for everything else. So how do we actually extract a business idea from these bots? Well, you tell your chosen AI to scan platforms like Reddit. Think about it. Where do people love to go and vent anonymously? Reddit. That makes it an absolute goldmine for finding real, painful, unvarnished problems. You prompt the AI to sift through threads and find the most common, painful complaints that first-time founders have. When you do this, a massive complaint constantly bubbles up. The crippling fear of building something nobody wants. Boom, right there you have a validated problem. Your startup idea could literally just be a tool that analyzes early business pitches to tell founders if their idea is actually viable before they spend a single dime. But getting those golden insights requires mastering the golden rule of prompting. AI isn't magic. Actually, you really have to treat it like a highly capable but completely literal employee. If you hire a brand new assistant and you don't give them precise context and super clear instructions, they're not going to do the job right, are they? The exact same is true for AI. Your prompting is everything. The output you get completely depends on the context you provide. Okay, so you've isolated a desperate problem. Phase 2, development, building without code. The absolute powerhouse tool for this phase is called Lovable. It's phenomenal for launching software even if you've never coded a day in your life. But you have to use a specific iterative workflow. First, feed it your validated idea. Second, you gotta be hyper-specific with your parameters. Say you want your app to grade those business ideas we just talked about. You can't just say, make a grading feature. You have to spell it out. Tell it an A is a highly viable idea, an F is terrible, and define exactly what makes up each grade. And finally, step 3. Look, it's gonna output errors. It's almost guaranteed. This isn't just a magical one-click finish line. You have to treat the AI like a junior developer, actively ask it to fix the bugs, and refine the product until it's flawless. Now, here's a massive efficiency hack to get through that back-and-forth iteration way faster. The average person types, maybe 50 to 60 words per minute, but we speak at an average of 250 words per minute. Have you ever stared at a blank screen trying to type out a massive multi-step instruction? It is exhausting. Speaking your complex instructions is just vastly faster, and it lets your brain flow without the friction of a keyboard slowing you down. To capture all that speed, you use a tool called Whisper. It's an AI that doesn't just blindly dictate. It instantly cleans up your messy speech. It's literally like having the perfect administrative assistant. You just start talking, Maybe you stumble, maybe you pause to think. Whisper doesn't care. It strips out your pauses, deletes all the ums and ahs, formats your thoughts into beautifully structured, numbered lists, and even adds quotations where appropriate. It drastically speeds up your entire workflow because you're finally communicating at the speed of thought.
Right, so the code works, the app is functional. Phase 3, branding, designing your identity.
You have to make sure people actually trust your app when they see it. Your brand new business absolutely cannot afford to look cheap, thrown together, or obviously AI generated. To instantly elevate your user interface, there is a brilliant secret weapon called 21st.dev. It's a massive open-source library of high-quality, professionally designed website components. Instead of trying to prompt Lovable to make a basic button, you literally copy the code for a dynamic, interactive web component, like a sleek, animated robot or a gorgeous pricing tier, and just drop it directly into your app. It gives your newly built software this premium, top-tier Silicon Valley feel in seconds.
For the actual brand identity, you can use Google Gemini's image generation to iterate. Let's pretend our hypothetical company is called Nano Banana. You start by generating a logo. First pass looks a bit too complicated? No problem. You iterate. You refine the prompt, maybe tell the AI to make it sleeker and more minimalist, like the Apple logo. You can even have the AI generate mock-ups of people walking down the street wearing your Nano Banana logo on a t-shirt, just to see how the brand feels in the real world. Once you have a solid conceptual direction that you absolutely love, you take those AI drafts and hand them off to a professional human designer on Fiverr to polish them up and make them perfectly unique.
So we've got a functioning, beautiful product. Time for phase 4. Scaling, marketing, and automation. This is all about getting distribution, getting eyeballs, and quite literally cloning yourself. If you want to make endless video ads for social media without burning out, you combine HeyGen and 11 Labs. These tools completely demystify the digital cloning process, and it feels like absolute magic. You simply sit down and record 2 minutes of yourself looking directly at the camera. Then you type out whatever custom script you want for your marketing campaign. The platform takes that input and generates a wildly realistic AI avatar view. The facial gestures, the lip syncing, it all matches up perfectly to the new words. Influencers and marketers are already doing this to run entire ad campaigns or take weeks off while their digital clones just keep posting videos and driving millions of views. It's insane. Now, to tie all of this marketing and scaling together, you use something called AI orchestration, driven by a highly capable tool like N8N. Think of AI orchestration as the invisible nervous system that connects all your different tools into one continuous, hands-off workflow. For example, you could set up a system that automatically detects when a new blog post is published on your site. The system then reads it, uses an AI to summarize it into a script, pings your HeyGen clone to automatically film a video reading that script, and finally post that video directly to TikTok and Instagram. And it does all of this while you are fast asleep, without you ever clicking a single button. Okay, let's take a quick time out for a sobering reality check. With all these seemingly magical automated systems, how do these platforms actually make money? It is absolutely vital to understand the business models behind the tools you're relying on. Take a highly technical tool like NN. It's open source and technically free to use, sure, but they're still going to charge you around $10 a month just to host the software on a server for you so it can run 24/7. Understanding where these hidden infrastructure costs come from is key to projecting the actual real-world overhead of running your automated business. All right, your business is live, branded, and scaling on autopilot. The final piece of the puzzle is phase 5, operations. Managing your data. As a new founder, you're going to be taking a ton of meetings. And let's be real, taking notes while trying to pitch your heart out is practically impossible. Enter Granola. It's an exceptional tool for taking highly accurate meeting notes without you lifting a finger. But what makes Granola truly special is its stealth and its security. Unlike other tools, there's no annoying visible bot announcing itself and creeping into your Zoom or Google Meet. Instead, it processes the transcription data locally, right on your machine. Now, because it's invisible, it does require you to be ethical and manually disclose to the person you're speaking with that you're recording. But the massive benefit here is that your confidential, proprietary conversations stay entirely on your computer, not floating around on some random server. Next up for your daily operations is Google's Notebook LM. Consider this your ultimate operational brain. You can upload all your business PDFs, your strategy Google Docs, your pitch decks, drop it all directly into this localized tool. The result? You get an AI that inherently understands your entire business context. Remember how we talked earlier about the pain of constantly having to prompt AI with background info? With Notebook LM, you never have to re-explain your business to the chatbot again. It already knows the whole shebang. You just ask it whatever operational or strategic question you have that day, and it answers based entirely on your proprietary documents. Hold on a second, though. Before you go uploading your life's work into any cloud-based AI, you need to ask yourself a critical question. Are you feeding your highly valuable data to companies that exist solely to monetize it? You absolutely must rigorously check privacy policies before blindly clicking that agree box. There are massive companies running these incredible data models behind the scenes, and if they think they can legally make money out of the knowledge you feed them to train their next model, they absolutely will. Please do your due diligence so you understand the exact risks you are taking with your intellectual property. Let's wrap up with this final thought. If you build something that has value, you will get value. These 9 tools, from chatbots for finding desperate problems, to Lovable for building the solution, to HeyGen for cloning your marketing, they are completely useless if you don't actually apply them to solve a real human need. The barrier to entry has officially dropped to 0. But with all these incredibly powerful tools sitting literally right at your fingertips, the real question isn't whether you can build a business from scratch. The question is, what excuse do you have left for not starting today? So, what are you waiting for? Go launch your dream.